Okay, so we're in Teacher Dashboard. This is my Year 10 Maths class, and we're developing an assessment task where students collect real-world data from an authentic audience. Could be carers, parents, friends, around a particular issue. They're going to use a Google form to do that, and it's going to populate into a Google spreadsheet, okay, where they then undertake some analysis of that data. Now, we've talked about the ability of the teacher being able to deliver feedback assessment as learning, so feedback through that process. So maybe prior to them constructing their graphs, you might want to look at their data set and give them some suggestions as to the integrity of their data or how to format that data so that they get meaningful graphs when they start graphing it. So you can see here, and I'm not sure what this is, but if I just go into Francesca's spreadsheet, that's a Google spreadsheet, I can click on that and it will take me straight into her spreadsheet. Okay, that's not a very good spreadsheet. Anyway, we'll just put name, address, phone, question 1, all that sort of thing. So the idea with any Google product is you have this ability. So for instance, there was some numbers here. So 3, 4, 5. We've got a data set. They can perform many of the standard functions that are in Excel. So your sum, average, and there's plenty more that they can actually do. So this could be part of the learning for your staff and your kids in using some of those functions. Okay, and it works in pretty much the same way as Excel. What I could do, say for instance a kid then copies this across, they copy that formula across. Say for instance you see that in their spreadsheet. Now there's an interesting little teaching point there. Why does this say hashtag div _0? Okay, this kid needs some advice around this. They could probably work out what the problem is, and maybe if they start putting some figures over here, they could work it out. And you start talking about relative and absolute cell references. So I've just dragged that over, and it's changed relative to its new position. You could then come into Francesca, and I'm going to insert a comment here. So just to show you that again, I highlight, insert, comment, and a little comment comes up. What you can then do is, what's your surname, Lorraine?
S-P-I-L-L.
S-P-I-L-L-A-N-E. If I put this little plus sign and your email address, do you know why this error message is displaying? Clue, have a look at the cell references in the formula. Okay, I hit comment. Now what will happen is in a short moment you will actually receive an email. So you're my student, let's assume you are Francesca, and I've distributed, I'm the teacher, I've accessed this spreadsheet via Teacher Dashboard. I've commented on this spreadsheet, this data set, and shot you an email to say you better have a look at this. So is that feedback not incredibly useful prior to them constructing their charts, or them understanding why this is not working, this formula is not working? Okay, and moreover, if they've used the wrong formula, like have they used sum? Like a lot of the kids, when they're doing when they're trying to find the mean, they actually use the formula sum.
Yeah.
It's a common misconception. So if you see that, can you jump in here and again make the comment, well, is this the right formula? What are you trying to find here? And it's that unpacking of the average versus the term mean.
Can you remind me, now that you're in a Google Sheet,
Yep.
how do you change it from relative to an absolute cell? Is it still a dollar sign that you've got to use?
Correct. Yeah. So say for instance, this was up here, we had GST and we had 0.1, which I'm going to format as a percentage. Okay, there we go. So say for instance, this is price of lattes in Randwick. It gets more expensive as you go further down Anzac Parade. And this might be X GST. And this is going to be Inc GST. Okay. So, what's our formula going to be here? It's going to be equals this cell. Okay, so I1, let me just zoom in. I1, if I put a dollar sign in front of the I and a dollar sign in front of the 1, so it's I1 multiplied by D2. So it's going to work out 10% of $3, right? I should have that in brackets, should I not?
Yes.
I'm a limited mathematician. Plus D2. Okay. So what's going to happen is, now if the dollar sign locks it to the I column, the dollar sign in front of the 1 locks it to the 1 row. So this is called an absolute reference. So this formula refers absolutely to cell I1 and will not move if I pull it down. So what's going to happen when I pull this formula down, what I'm doing is I'm filling down the formula. What's going to change relative to its new position? D2 will become D3. So it will become I1 times D3 plus D3 because it's relative to its new position. It's a relative reference. So as I pull it down, there we get the result. So we can see it's locked to that cell because it's an absolute reference. It's referring to that cell there. Now that might be at the top of my spreadsheet. That is referring to D3, D4, D5. And obviously we're talking about money, so I need to format it, not in pounds. That's a really annoying feature of Google Docs. It sometimes changes this, so you need to go into... Okay, go.
My question is, how do you get this Excel spreadsheet into every single folder in Google
Okay.
Teacher Dashboard?
Great. So what you're talking about is the use of the smart copy feature. So we could set up a spreadsheet that is your template. So every kid looks the same. However, they have their own editing rights for that individual spreadsheet, and then they go in and they populate the data. Now, I suppose my question would be, what about, like, is there an opportunity for them to set up their own spreadsheet? And there might be other learning activities where they can do that. For this task, you might say, okay, I want to set up the basic parameters of what the spreadsheet should look like, and the kids then go in and put that data in. So that's definitely doable, and I'll cover that today as to how you would distribute this to the students.